Bill O'Reilly here, Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. President Trump warns of a very painful month ahead. The virus affecting the country's religious behavior. Walmart requires daily temperature checks for all employees. Sale of alcohol spikes 55% in 1 week. Stocks finished their worst month since the Great Depression. Also ahead, do Americans trust the government during this pandemic? But first, the president telling Americans the country must prepare for a, quote, painful period in the next few weeks. New predictions from the White House place the potential death rate from the contagion at up to 250,000. Said Mr. Trump, the surge is coming, and it's coming strong. The global pandemic impacting our religious habits. 55% of U.S. adults say they have prayed for an end to the outbreak. That includes 49% of those who rarely worship or go to church or synagogue. Most prayer is in private, 6 in 10, currently avoiding religious services to slow the infection. Walmart instituting new rules requiring daily temperature tests for all 1.5 million workers. The nationwide chain is deploying thousands of infrared scanners to stores where employees will be checked before entering the building. Company also delivering gloves and face masks to those who request them. Fearful Americans are turning to the bottle as well as prayer to cope with the contagion. Sales of alcoholic beverages jumped 55% since the middle of March. Most popular during the plague, tequila, gin, beer, and wine. Online purchases of spirits up a whopping 243% in the last 7 days. The stock market finishing its worst month since the height of the Great Depression, the biggest first quarter decline in American history. The Dow Jones and S&P 500 each down 13% since the end of February. Major corporations like Macy's, The Gap, and other retailers, massive layoffs. They've already furloughed more than 300,000 workers in all 50 states. In a moment, a provocative question. Do we, the people, trust those we have elected to beat the virus? Right back with the message of the day. For more than 10 years, Omaha Steaks has been my trusted source for high-quality steaks, holiday meals, and more. Now, for a limited time, Omaha Steaks is running a stock-up sale to supply you when you're staying home. Omaha Steaks has everything you need with a variety of high-quality meat, seafood, desserts, and more. So please go to omahasteaks.com and enter code BILL into the search bar. Get free shipping right to your door on orders of more than $69. Choose from a variety of ready-to-ship stock-up boxes. Orders are flash frozen, vacuum sealed, safely delivered in a cooler with dry ice. You can fill up your family's freezer too. Send them and your friends as well a care package. Omaha Steaks has a 100% money-back guarantee. So please go to omahasteaks.com, enter the code BILL into the search bar. Take advantage of this limited time offer. omahasteaks.com, enter code BILL into the search bar. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. As we have reported, some polls are bogus. The sample of people questioned designed to achieve a desired outcome, not give an accurate portrayal of whatever the issue is. We saw that in the last presidential election when most of the polls believed that Hillary Clinton would win. But polling is all we have to provide some kind of national vision. So, skeptically, here we go on the virus. A new CNN poll says about half of Americans believe the government has done a good job in preventing the spread, which is about the same as the 49% who said so in early March. About as many, 47%, now say the federal government has done a poor job, an increase of 4 points in 3 weeks. So the nation is divided according to CNN. 77% of Republicans believe the federal government is doing a good job against the virus versus 27% of Democrats, and that, of course, is purely a play on President Trump. About 3/4 of Americans say they feel at least somewhat prepared to deal with an infection if they or someone in their family were to contract one. As for President Trump's handling of the pandemic, according to a Harvard poll, 50% approve, 45% do not. ABC News poll, 50% approve, disapprove, 50%. Gallup poll, 60% approve, disapprove 38. Harris poll, 56% approve, 44% disapprove. Now, since most of those polls ask more Democrats than Republicans the question, it is fairly good news for President Trump, at least now. That could change very quickly, of course. The media is doing everything it can to damage the president, generally speaking. Listen to this headline this morning in the Hill newspaper. Trump administration ignored pandemic warning from White House economists. Let me repeat that. Trump administration ignored pandemic warning from White House economists. This is in the Hill newspaper. First paragraph of the story, quote, the Trump administration ignored a pandemic warning from White House economists who published a study estimating possible effects of a pandemic last September, according to a New York Times report. Wow, that's pretty bad, is it not? Well, 5 paragraphs later, this is what it says. The study, which did not predict the coronavirus specifically, modeled a pandemic involving a virus similar to the 1918 Spanish flu or the swine flu of 2009 hitting the country. The model flu in the study, however, was less contagious and less deadly than public health officials say the coronavirus could be, unquote. So this is a bogus story. And let me tell you why. There have been studies on World War II, Pearl Harbor hit, nobody knew. Studies on terrorism, Al-Qaeda hit, nobody knew. No one acts unless hard facts are presented to them. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by actually writing it. In a moment, something you might not know. As we begin 2020, let's think about what that means. It's a crucial election year, but 2020 also means perfect vision, which means it's time to look clearly and realistically into your future. Because even if you're relatively healthy now, you or your spouse may soon need to pay for expensive medical care. The good news is, if you are age 75 or older and own a life insurance policy worth $100,000 or more, We Buy 75 is waiting to appraise it free and help you convert it into more cash than you've ever dreamed possible. Please call 844-WE-BUY-75 or visit WeBuy75, You'll never have to pay a life insurance premium again. There's no better feeling than having all the cash you need. And for the fun stuff, you've got it. You've seen and heard about We Buy 75 on TV and radio. So please call 844-WE-BUY-75 or visit WeBuy75.com today. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Today is April Fool's Day. But in a contagion, it is not wise to fool around. However, the day itself is interesting. And believe it or not, the tradition goes back centuries. In 1582, most Europeans switched over from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. Thus, New Year's Day changed from the 1st of April to January 1st. Some villagers who didn't get the memo still celebrated New Year's on April 1st. The educated mocked the serfs as foolish. In France, the educated would leave paper figurines of fish on doorsteps as a joke, suggesting the residents inside were dumb. Fast forward a few hundred years. April 1st has created some pretty incredible pranks. In 1957, the BBC reported that Swiss farmers were experiencing a record spaghetti crop. Camera crews even filmed the locals harvesting noodles from trees across the Alps. Many believed it. In 1992, National Public Radio claimed Richard Nixon was considering another run for the White House. The segment took the country by surprise, making its way to the nightly news on some networks. The media believed it. An actor depicting Nixon promised voters, "I never did anything wrong, and I won't do it again." 4 years later, fast food chain Taco Bell duped people when it announced it had agreed to purchase Philadelphia's Liberty Bell and planned to rename it the Taco Liberty Bell. Even National Geographic got into the action. In 2016, the magazine promised readers they would no longer publish images of nude animals. Calling the pictures inappropriate, they promoted a story featuring kittens and puppies wearing underwear. And here's something else you might not know. April Fool's Day sparks panic for millions of Americans suffering from farsophobia, a real word, the fear of practical jokes. 15% of adults say the holiday causes anxiety and lack of sleep. Some even don't go to work. The biggest fear for those suffering from farsophobia? Loud noises and clowns. Back after this. Losing your hair is a problem. Keeping your hair without leaving your couch is a huge benefit. If you are losing hair, please check out Keeps, Keeps. Keeps offers the generic versions of the only two FDA-approved hair loss products. That's science. And the generic versions save you big money. Just answer a few online questions, snap a few pictures of your hair. A doctor will then review and recommend the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for you. Then it's shipped discreetly to your door. So you're probably wondering, will it work? A whopping 66% of men experience hair regrowth thanks to Keeps. Losing your hair, very annoying? Do something about it. Please go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/Bill to get your first order of Keeps hair loss treatment 50% off. That's right, 50% off. That's Keeps.com/Bill, Keeps.com/Bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.